Buyer's Guide is brought to you by Change Cars. Find your dream vehicle with Change Cars, the platform buyers trust.
This week on Buyer's Guide, we consider the Porsche Macan as a used premium SUV option.
We compare diesel, petrol and hybrid powertrains.
And we look at the pros and cons of buying a high-mileage premium sedan.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Guide, the show that's dedicated to solving all your vehicle questions and queries. If you have a question for our panel of experts, please send it to buyer'sguide@ignitiontv.co.za. And remember to give us all the facts so we can answer your question as thoroughly as possible.
And Adam, speaking of experts, This week we joined in studio by Buyer's Guide stalwart Sam De Fonseca from the car scene. Welcome, Sam.
Thanks for having
and
me.
of course, Michael Pashut from Change Cars. Welcome back, Michael.
Thank you.
Let's dive in. Our first question comes from Andrew, whose wife owns a 2014 BMW Z4, which has only done 54,000 kilometers from new. They are thinking of getting into something bigger because their grandkids are growing up and a second-hand Porsche Macan has caught their eye. They can spend up to 750,000 Rand and would like to keep the car for at least 10 years. Now, should they go for an older model diesel or a later petrol 4-cylinder model? Considering they'll be able to keep the Z4 if they buy the diesel option.
Very clear, these guys have got lovely taste. They've got a lovely budget as well. I personally am a petrol fan, so I would recommend the petrol. But whichever option they go there, they're doing the right thing. Just regarding their Z4, that particular vehicle with that low mileage, it's absolute gold what they've got. If finances permit, allow them to hold on to it, I would say. But what is it worth? Around the 300,000 Rand mark.
I would say the same thing. I'd say it's worth quite a lot of money because I've also been looking at buying a Z4 before I got my Infinity.
Back to the question of the Macan. Do you have a diesel that you buy for
I
petrol?
would say whichever one is pretty decent. I mean,
But don't forget,
they're
if
all-
they take the diesel option, they can afford to keep the Z4.
From a
I-
fuel consumption point of view.
No, I think from the
the
financial,
financial
point
point of
Okay.
view. But my
'Cause it's
only
the older-
recommendation is buy it from Porsche.
Yeah.
Because if you don't buy it from Porsche, you're not going to get any of the quality assurances. You're not going to get any maintenance
I
plans.
was going to say the exact same thing.
Have to buy it from Porsche.
For me, I would go for the diesel version because it's for his wife.
Mm.
I don't know if it's like my wife. They don't really care too much about fast cars, you know, unless it's your wife's one of those who wants to drive a fast car. So the diesel will be more than powerful enough. You've got the space of the car. It's a good, reliable engine. It will give you very good fuel consumption. I just think in that bigger SUV, you've got a big, torquey engine. Look, it is a preference. Like Michael said, you prefer petrol.
I prefer petrol.
You know, I've always been a petrol head as well, prefer petrol. But in some cases, diesel is actually I think.
no, in
like
this
SUV.
application.
But
An
it's a
SUV,
preference.
yeah.
It's
And they
And-
said they want to keep it for 10 years.
yeah.
And
So
you
probably
guys
diesel.
said how nice that Z4 is.
That is a car that will become a classic. It will
Yeah.
become a classic.
So what I would suggest in this case would be to go and drive a diesel, go and drive a petrol, see which one you prefer. I looked online now. I went to Change Cars, and the petrols were a little bit more expensive. You know, most probably 100 Grand more
Yes.
expensive than the diesel versions because the petrols are newer
Yeah, they are
than
newer, yeah.
obviously the diesel versions.
But in line with what Sam said, everyone that's advertised on the site is from Porsche.
Yeah.
You get that maintenance plan, you get the guarantee. That is so critical that they do say.
Especially with a car of that caliber.
Yeah.
Correct.
Have to.
They're not troublesome cars.
No,
not
not
at all.
troublesome cars.
Not
But
at all.
if they happen, for
Correct.
whatever reason, to
Yes.
give you trouble, and you don't have that Porsche backing, you are
get
in
told
some
you're like-
serious problem.
Porsche.
Cheers.
Porsche.
Correct.
Right, we're going to move on now from a question from Commission. Who would like to buy his girlfriend her first car? That's nice of him.
Yep.
Needs to be automatic and preferably light on fuel. He's got a budget of 110,000 Rand and he's looking at a 2015 Hyundai i10 1.1 Motion with only 85,000 kilometers on the clock, selling for 99,000 Rand. Are there any other vehicles he should consider? Or would we recommend he buys an aftermarket warranty as well? Let's start with you, Sam.
I think the i10 is it's a really good option. I mean, if he's looking at alternatives, it's going to be cars that are of the similar caliber.
Yeah.
So there's going to be like Kia Picanto, maybe Toyota Etios, Volkswagen Up.
Yeah.
This is a pretty nice one. I really like.
I think he
VW
wants
Ups.
automatic. Definitely automatic.
You can't get the auto in the Ep8.
Yeah.
You can't.
So you got the i10.
It's really the i10 then.
It's a good.
Yes.
It's a good.
It's a good car.
I mean, you can't diss it.
No.
No,
I mean,
you
it's
can't.
a basic car, simple car. If it's his girlfriend's car,
Yeah.
she wants an automatic.
I've mentioned in the past, I'm a huge fan of automatics in any size engine. He's identified the perfect car out the box. Right price, right mileage, everything there fits. I'm slightly different as well regarding the aftermarket warranties. I detest them. Not a day goes by, independent of the site, just in our natural business, that people phone friends, Mike, I bought this warranty, they're refusing to cover this, they're not covering labor, they're not covering the full costs. I do not like aftermarket warranties. My advice to the gent, very simple. Look for a vehicle with the right history, which it sounds like he's found. Right history, right mileage. That is his guarantee already, so to speak.
Generally, those cars are very cheap to fix.
Absolutely.
They're very, very reliable.
Because they're
don't really-
unstressed. They're not cars that you're driving hard.
Crazy, yeah.
You're not going to find somebody who's a petrolhead, drives a car like a lunatic driving around in an 1100 automatic
Correct.
Hyundai. So no, I would say don't worry about the warranty.
How
They are
about
good,
him just
reliable.
getting a service plan?
Even then, it's not even worth just because so many aftermarket places can look after it.
Correct.
Dirt
Yeah.
cheap.
To service that car, what are you looking at? 3,500 Rand roughly
If
a
that.
year?
If that for
If
a
that.
major big
Correct.
service, yeah.
Maybe
Just
for a
the-
minor, like $900.
It's just the right car. Well done to him. He's nailed
Yeah.
it.
So in this case, you found the right car. Buy it. Keep your girlfriend happy. There we go.
Okay, we'll be taking a short break, but when we return, we find out which is best, petrol, diesel, or hybrid power.
And will a Suzuki Ignis make a good replacement for a Volkswagen Polo?
Find your dream vehicle with Change Cars, the platform buyers trust.
Welcome back to Buyer's Guide. Donovan would like to hear our views on the hybrid powertrains and how they compare to naturally aspirated and turbocharged engines. He's nearing 57 and he's starting to look at a vehicle to serve him through to his retirement. His options are the Corolla Cross, Kia Sonet, the Renault Duster 1.5 diesel. The vehicle needs to be affordable to maintain and last for a long time. Okay, go buy the Toyota Corolla Cross. Next question.
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely. Next question.
Okay, guys, what do you think of? I mean, here we've got a hybrid, naturally aspirated, and a turbocharged diesel.
I'm beginning to see genuinely why people are going for the hybrid. He didn't indicate the type of mileage that he does, but he indicated he wants to keep it for a long time. I think the initial price of the Corolla Cross is very appealing in that category. Wouldn't look any further there. Lovely car.
Yeah.
I mean, the waiting list on that, I think that's going to
Be a
scare
problem.
him. Is months and months waiting list
Yeah.
on that. For good reason.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
long way
I
to-
mean,
Sam,
they're hoping
you-
to sell approximately 2,000 a month. They're manufactured locally. You've got a Toyota dealer under every tree. Sam?
It's like a month and a half, 2-month waiting list
Yeah.
at the moment for a Corolla Cross. But my biggest thing is if he wants to keep this car until retirement, something he needs
No,
to
after
think
retirement.
of.
After retirement. He's
After-
57.
After retirement.
Yeah.
He needs to think about the fact that if he really wants to get a hybrid, with that hybrid battery, is it going to last him all those years? And even if he does claim a new battery under Toyota's whole
8-year
hybrid
warranty, yeah.
8-year warranty thing is, because the whole question to me has always been, if the battery is still fine and Toyota tests it and they're like, okay, cool, like on your iPhone you can go into settings and you can see my battery has 60% capacity still. Does Toyota have like a barrier that your battery's health needs to be below until they replace it? Because if you go out of the 8 years, obviously they won't honor it.
No, there's no warranty after 8 years in terms of the battery.
Yeah.
So I suppose you've got to look at, in terms of, do you buy a hybrid
Longevity.
vehicle, naturally aspirated vehicle? With the Corolla Cross, you can have the choice, because
You can,
either
yeah.
you can get a basic 1.8, or you can get the 1.8 with the hybrid technology on it. It only pays you really to buy the hybrid technology to get that fuel saving if you're going to do more than, let's say, 20,000, 25,000 Ks a year.
But if you are just trundling around town, I've had instances where I've been driving the Corolla Cross, the hybrid, and if you're trundling around town, you can actually just do it in pure electric mode.
Very, very light on fuel.
Very
So you
light.
just got to look at the cost. I think it's about a 50,000 Rand cost extra for the hybrid, roughly somewhere around there, as opposed to the
It
the
might
normal
also
aspirated.
equate to more resale value
Yeah.
because
I
there's
mean,
a lot more demand.
The
for
other
it.
vehicles as well. In the Renault Duster, the 1.5 diesel, it's a good vehicle. It's
Not a
okay.
fan.
I don't think it's in the class of the Corolla, because the
Correct.
Corolla's, I think it's a lot more modern.
more
it's a
You
lot
won't be
more
keeping
featured.
that for 15 years.
Yeah.
I will guarantee you that.
I think you're right there. yeah.
Just touching on the battery, my personal prediction, 3, 4, 5 years from now, all the initial batteries, they'll have a factory recall because technology is going to move so quick. That is the only aspect where hybrid is still weak, is the battery technology. I wouldn't be worried at all about the battery life on that car. They're going to have a recall, 5 years, they're going to replace his battery.
Give you
I
a
think
new
it's
one.
a safe bet.
So I
Because
suppose,
even
like
like-
you said, it's very light on fuel in and about town. That's where it's designed to use that hybrid technology. You're in a city, you're not polluting the air, you're driving on the battery operation. So it depends on the kind of driving you're doing. And I suppose some people don't mind paying that extra bit. They'll have the hybrid vehicle, they'll drive it, they'll have the fuel savings, they're happy with that. It depends on what you prefer.
I wonder why people buy hybrid cars to say at parties, ooh, I'm saving the environment. The cost of manufacturing and digging up the earth for those batteries, you destroy half the earth to try save it.
I
no.
think a lot of people that are looking at hybrid technology are looking at the future.
Yeah.
If we say what is the future, we know it ain't diesel because diesel is being phased out.
Yeah.
It can't be petrol. It has to be hybrid.
You can go and buy either the naturally aspirated Corolla Cross or the hybrid, whichever you prefer. And either way, you're going to get a great car. It's going to have great resale
No
value.
question.
It's going to be reliable. It's Toyota product. It's a superb product. Buy
Yes.
it, move on.
Just don't buy hybrid. Before we head into the ad break, here's a question from Lee, who owns a 2015 VW Polo 1.2 TSI with 70,000 kilometers on the clock, and which is paid off. He would like to get into something that can handle the odd dirt road when he goes on a fishing trip, but is also reliable and fuel efficient for town driving. He's looked at a demo model Suzuki Ignis, but he's also open to other options up to the 250,000 Rand price bracket. How do you feel, Michael?
He's got either the most popular car or very close to the most popular car. I don't personally think he'll be going forward with that Ignis. He's going from a turbo to a non-turbo. No question the Ignis is a more modern, up-to-date, feature-rich car. What is the best time for him to sell the Polo was a question that he asked. That car is going to retain its value from now until forever.
Yeah.
That car, I believe, will not devalue from what its
Current value is.
No question. So is he going forward? No, but clearly he's itching to look at a new car. Take your time, rest easy that you've got something there that you could keep for a long, long time. I don't think personally that the Ignis would be going forward.
Okay.
I tend to agree with you. I looked at the question and I thought, well, you may be disappointed with the Ignis because the Polos, the 1.2 TSI is a lot more powerful.
Yeah.
And it's got a
Correct.
better interior and it's all that. But, you know, he wants something that's slightly higher off the road.
Functionality.
So if you're not bothered about the performance side of things, the Ignis, I think it's a great
It's a
little
zippy
car.
car.
lovely
For
car.
1.2
It's not
naturally
right for its
aspirated.
application. I
Yeah.
think your 250,000 Rand budget, you can go and look at something like a Kia Sonet,
yeah.
or you can go back to Suzuki and have a look at something like a Brezza. You'd get a demo Brezza in that sort
Yeah.
of price range. Now the Brezza will be a 1.5. It's got the extra ride height. It's got a little bit more powerful engine. It's got space, so you can grow into the car.
You know, just to get up Adam's
Nostril.
nostrils here, how about the Kaiga?
Kaiga. Oh, look, it's a pretty car, but it's a 1 liter turbo car.
But it's a high up. Off the
What
ground
about a
car.
Polo Cross? In all honesty,
You're not going to find it at the 250 mark, are you?
I think you might very well.
Yeah, no, you'll find an older
find
one.
older
With
Yeah.
250 mark.
I mean, if
that's
he's got a
slightly
26,
higher
I
as
mean, he
well.
doesn't have to sacrifice the build quality because honestly, going from a Polo to an Ignis, it's like going to a Polo Vivo.
Yeah.
From
That's
his
going
Polo.
backwards.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
so
Look at something
backwards.
like a
So
Brezza.
why
if you want
can't
that
we
ride
just?
height.
I know he
Cross
wants
Polo.
ride height, but if he's going off the odd dirt road, his Polo would quite well do that
Yeah.
at that low mileage.
He's got fishing rods. He has to fold the seats down and put the fishing rods in the
And where are you going to put in an Ignis that's shorter than a Polo?
on the roof.
And a Polo,
Roof
you
rails
can
and
put
tie
rear roof racks on the Polo. You can put roof racks on the Polo.
And like I do agree with the whole Polo keeping its value thing. It's a car that is going to retain its value. And I mean, if it's just been paid off,
But if it's not suiting his application, he
Yeah,
wants to
that's the
change
thing.
it. Let's keep the economy going and let him buy another car. Then Michael can buy the Polo and he can sell it to somebody else. So there's your choices. Now don't go away because after the break, we find out if a high mileage Audi A4 makes for a good second-hand buy.
And we evaluate service and maintenance plans as well as extended warranties.
Find your dream vehicle with Change Cars, the platform buyers trust.
Thank you for tuning into Buyer's Guide. Ashley is keen on buying a 2013 Audi A4 1.8 Turbo Auto with just over 245,000 kilometers on the clock. Yes, you heard right, 245,000 kilometers. A full service history and an asking price of 120,000 Rand. He's looking for a comfortable, stylish family car, but he's worried that the Audi's mileage might be a little bit too high. The car will be used to travel to work and back, as well as the occasional long-distance trip with his wife and grandkids. Okay, first off, you might just not do that long-distance trip, but that's just my opinion. Michael?
If Ashley wants a short answer, it's no. If he wants a longer answer, it's no, 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 and no again.
Okay, Michael's had his say.
No.
Sam?
No.
But why
Okay,
not?
why, guys?
Why not?
Why?
Because you're just going to be buying a badge. You just want to drive something with 4 rings on it. Like, how much did you say? 120,000 Rand?
120 grand.
He's buying a problem. And I promise you when it breaks, it's going to be uneconomical to repair. And then all you've got is a lump sitting in your driveway,
You
leaking
can
oil.
use it as a doorstop.
A
Do you
doorstop.
think, let's just look at this car, 245,000 K.
That's not the problem in my opinion.
Okay, so
It's a price. It's a
120,000 Rand?
price
Too
relative
much.
to. Absolutely.
What should he pay for a car like that?
80 to 90. So again, I'm going to go a slightly different way. If he wants to buy a car for 120, that's fine. It's within his budget. Buy a car that's 5-6 years older with lower mileage.
Agreed.
Age doesn't worry me on a car. People, I've got a car, it's 15 years old, it's got 67,000 Ks. Is it going to give trouble? So the honest answer, no, but I'd love to buy it. All he must do is just look for something older with less mileage in that price range.
You should get a Lexus, an IS250.
That's
Unbelievable.
That's a good
car.
option.
See, I think what you said is quite important as well. Is it's 245,000 kilometers. It's starting brakes on the car. So if your engine fails,
Jeez.
so
That's a 1.8 turbo.
And it's the
yeah.
1.8.
so we're talking.
So
most
does this
probably
thing have any oil?
the 50, 60,000 Rand repair
Repair.
on the engine? That's
Yeah.
been conservative.
Yeah.
If your gearbox fails, it's a 40 to 50,000 Rand gearbox.
Yep.
So that's more than half the price
Yeah.
of the initial purchase price of the car.
Correct.
You may be lucky and you got a car that's perfect. And it's been looked after that. But remember, 245,000 Ks. By the time it gets to 300,000 Ks, which is not too long,
Unsellable.
it's sellable, but it's a 40 grand car.
Correct.
It's more like ungiveawayable.
Yeah.
But Sam made a very, very good recommendation there. Have you seen what Lexus charge for an annual service on an S250?
It was nothing. I think it was like
Under 9,000
I
Rand
think it was like
Yeah.
to
7,000
maintain it. That is unbelievable.
If you want something, I think if he wants to buy a vehicle like that, a bigger SUV, a bigger sedan, and he's got 120,000 Rand to spend, I would say go and try and find yourself like a C-Class.
Yeah.
They're a lot more reliable than the Audis.
Uh,
Or
200
if you
Ks.
could, if 120 grand, you could find yourself like a 320 diesel with most probably, 150 to 200,000 K.
Bulletproof engine.
You know what Mike said
So
earlier
more reliability in it.
about an older car? I'd put him in an E-Class if I
Yes.
find one.
Yeah.
If he
Absolutely.
wants a big car, an E-Class.
And those are cars that you will find.
You
with
will
low
find for
mileage.
120 low miler because they're not popular cars.
And the other great thing about the E-Class, and maybe that you could throw the 5
5 Series
as
in
well,
there as well.
is that you could get low mileage ones, and people who buy E-Classes and buy
Don't
5
hammer it.
Series,
Conservative
they
people.
aren't windguts.
Correct.
And in that sort of segment, if you can get like a 2-liter diesel or an E220 or something along those lines, I think you'll find yourself a better car long term.
I think just the key to get across to Ashley and all our viewers, the lower the mileage, the better. The age, irrelevant.
Well,
the
I hope
mileage.
he's not watching the show now and thinking, oh, damn.
I already
I
bought it.
already
bought
bought
it.
this thing.
All right, gents, our last question this week comes from David, who owns a 2018 Ford Fiesta. He would like to know if it's worth upgrading the standard service plan to a maintenance plan. Secondly, when he bought the vehicle, he didn't think of the warranty. Should he also extend the warranty, or would the extended plan suffice? Michael, I know your opinion on warranties. Don't buy warranties. A Ford Fiesta, good car.
So I think a lot of people are confused between the term service plan, maintenance plan, and warranty. If I can just briefly cover it. Service plan only covers your service items. Your air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, doesn't cover brakes.
Neither does it
Maintenance
cover
plan
wiper blades.
covers everything, including anything that breaks, be it an alternator or starter. So let's park the warranty for a second. If you've got a maintenance plan, by default, you've got a warranty in place. So if you said to me, what is the best advice? Take a manufacturer approved maintenance plan, you've got your warranty in place.
I think he did mean that he's purchased this extended plan from Ford.
Yes.
With 2018 model, he would get an extended maintenance plan, which is a very, very good maintenance plan.
It's a peace of mind plan.
Yes.
Correct.
If you've got a car like that and you have a maintenance plan, and as you said, basically the warranty is built into that anyway. You're going to get it looked after. You're never going to have any disputes over it. It's paid for. It's done. It may cost you a little bit more than
a normal
servicing and maintaining your car afterwards. But sometimes peace of mind outweighs that. Supposed to answer the question is go ahead with that warranty that you bought or that extended maintenance plan if that's what you want, and you've got the peace of mind motoring. And if you also decide to sell the car before that plan's expired,
the value that it adds.
Yes.
Good value add.
You're right, it does.
Yeah. Value added plan.
Okay,
and with that, we've come to the end of this week's episode. Remember, if you're thinking of selling your vehicle, visit changecars.co.za to get the best price for your vehicle. Michael, now for those viewers who are new to Buyer's Guide, please tell us a bit more about the sell your vehicle function on Change Cars.
Thank you, Sagi. Appreciate the opportunity. If you visit changecars.co.za, you'll see a tab at the top that says sell your vehicle. We're specifically interested in any vehicle that has got 15,000 kilometers per year annual mileage or less. It will take you 3 minutes to upload your vehicle, and we guarantee you it will be sold the same day. We'd love your viewers to give it a try.
Thank you very much.
there you go. Thank you, Michael. And of course, Sam, for joining us today and providing our viewers with all those useful tips and advice. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
Until next time, please buckle up and keep it safe on the roads.
Buyer's Guide was brought to you by Change Cars, the platform where only manufacturer-approved dealers are allowed to advertise.